What's up, good people? It's yours truly. Don't forget, you can also donate to the Cash App, which is Carcino. Live from the living room. We finna get it in. We're gonna wait for people to get into the chat. This is a live stream. If you're watching this later, this was live. So, yes, we shall be getting into that. What have I noticed about the differences in said situation? Oh, we gonna get there. Hit the like button coming through the door because it's gonna get very telling here as everyone is acting like this is a party or a celebration that Boosie is going through the situations and the issues that he is. I've actually done this video like 2-3 times and I have to do it in a live setting because some reason the format, it don't want to record. So maybe the third time's the charm. Now, Boosie getting arrested after they threw away his gun case is not reason for people to celebrate. I don't think it's a celebratory thing for people to be basically jumping up in arms like, yeah, I told you, I knew it. Like they're like celebrating. You got clowns out there really promoting someone going to jail as if it's a good thing. And we're going to get to this reality that people want to try to avoid now. What is that reality? The reality of the situation is he's dealing with a Fed case and facing a lot of time, Boosie is. Boosie had to sell a lot of his vehicles and probably a lot of merchandise, jewelry, and everything else to help for his defense. The first thing he ever put out was an apology to his children, which lets you know how serious this thing really is. Now, as we get more into it, as you can see here, what is a common denominator here that you can see that's staring you right in the face? Now, Boosie's a grown man. I can't blame another man for his actions. But I do know when someone's trying to capitalize off of the ignorance or buffoonery that's been taking place lately within the past year. You see, Boosie's problems was going to be magnified and was going to be put on a larger scope once he was with Vlad. Once Boosie was shot and recovering and all of these things, this is what was food and was water in the mouth of old Vlad here. Vlad didn't want to talk about any accomplishments Boosie has done in the past. He's not a fan of Boosie's music. He wanted Boosie up there because he was talking reckless. Oh, I love the way he talk. I can make a lot with him. You see, Vlad is always there to highlight the downfall of something or highlight the ignorance of something and clickbait it to death. Make 55 different videos off of the same damn thing. And now, because of that, it's a whole different reality now. It's a whole different party. See, Vlad now is faced with a lot because for the first time ever, people ain't saying, man, look what happened to him. Everybody is saying, Vlad done did it again. It didn't happen again. Too many people he has interviewed, coincidentally, has lost their lives. Coincidentally, go to jail. He did the same thing to many artists before, right? This is why I love what Kwame Brown said about him, because it's actually true. You make your bread and butter off of the exploitation of our people. People say, well, you do that, you talk about the truth behind the beefs. You don't never talk about, no, I'm highlighting what actually took place. And I always highlight a solution of how it never should have happened. This should have been dealt this way or that way. Never do I glorify violence. Never do I glorify any of these things. I tell people what happened when these two were beefing and how it shouldn't have never started and the solution to the problem. I've always done it that way. This is exploitation. But if a person allows themselves to be exploited for money, meaning that Vlad's going to pay him to do it, who do you blame? Now, when all the smoke is coming down on Vlad, oh, he don't like this. You see, all this stuff is coming back to light. Remember that? We don't know who that is, but a lot of people know now when they dead in jail. And Vlad made one big mistake. See, he's been doing stuff that he normally does all the time, is that when someone's going through trouble, he starts throwing up all the old videos he did, old interviews, whenever someone's name is trending. When I had Papoose name trending, when I got 1 million views off of posting Papoose freestyles, getting 1 million views, Vlad went and start posting all of these Papoose interviews. So that's when I first noticed it. But Kwame Brown wasn't dealing with you, Vlad. I wasn't dealing with you. Nobody was dealing with you. You weren't in anybody's way. Nobody was bothering you. You chose to come out and attack. Then you posted this. Ooh-wee. Look at what it says. Boosie, 4 days ago. Boosie, I'm looking for rat haters to join Down South Wrecking Crew group. Part 45. Part 45? See, but this is a norm for him. So now everybody thinks this is a new interview. Everybody thinks this is new. He got Boosie back in there sitting down. This is a whole new thing. No, it's not a new thing. It's the same old Vlad. But this time, this backfired on you. Because now when he gets in the Fed case, people are going to say, Vlad, you set this up. This is another one of your things. Because you just did an interview with him. They don't know this is an old clip that you're posting back. So now all your things blow up in your face. Now you want to do damage control. Look, now he responding to fans. Look, people like Boosie, right after you was on Vlad interview, you got locked up by the feds. Now he want to do damage control. Now you want to talk to fans. Oh, now you got the time. Actually, our last interview with Boosie was in April, a couple of weeks ago. He went on media run that included The Breakfast Club, Baller Alert, All Hip Hop, Mav Hoffa, Sway, and probably some others I'm forgetting. He wants to disqualify himself now. Now he wants to disqualify himself because he knows he's in hot water. See, now he want to throw everybody else under the bus. Now he wants to throw everybody under the bus. Look, he was like, "Dang, you telling me I'm watching 2-month-old clips?" What is he saying? Yep. Here's the bigger question. Why are you posting 2-month-old clips? Why are you posting it for us? What you doing that for, G? Why are you posting these old clips? The reason that he's posting these old clips is because he wants to capitalize off of the pain. Look, they saying, and the people ain't fooled. They like, it's impossible to stay out of the way when you're on Vlad every day. Y'all think it's a game, but the feds follow around Vlad's guests. Shouts out to Chig Smooth. It's not a game. Y'all think it's a game, but it's not. This is real time. This is real life. This is what this guy does on the regular. So you see Tyrese come out and say the things that he said about Vlad, right? You seen Soulja Boy. A lot of y'all don't remember, but Vince Staples turned him down for an interview. Vince said, "Nah, I don't want to sit for 2 hours and talk about gangbanging. I've done that already. We're not doing Vlad again." So Vlad decided to interview people around him, interview people who didn't like him. Soulja Boy, same thing. Everybody who turns this guy down for an interview, he goes around and interviews people around them and then asks them questions about that person. Like Gilbert Arenas. Why is Gilbert up there? What were you gonna get out of Gilbert Arenas? What was the interview for? Because you damn sure didn't care about Gilbert Arenas. Because in the interview, you asked nothing about Gilbert Arenas. You asked Gilbert Arenas. You asked him about Kwame Brown, the person you really want to interview. You didn't ask about Gil's Arena. You didn't ask about nothing he got going on. You got him up there to talk about other people. They ain't got nothing to do with him. He wanted to interview Nas. Nas is like, "I'm not going to interview with you." He doesn't get A-listers. The reason why he don't get on A-listers is because he is viewed as a hack. He's a hack in this business. They don't look at him as a true journalist. He's someone who's a fanboy of this, who want to be a part of it. He's a hack. See, Vladimir, I didn't want to have anything to do with you on no level. I stayed out of your way. I didn't bother you. You chose to be hi-hatting me. And once you did that, you stepped into a whole new arena, especially dealing with me. When you tried to show how much bigger than me you were and all that, dude, I couldn't care less about how much money you make. You are not significant in any way. I don't know what you've been thinking. You done bumped your head. Because at one point, I've done better numbers than you. You were following me. I made videos supporting you actually going up against other people because I was like, they're the ones actually answering these dumbass questions. Because these questions are dumb. I can't believe they're not saying, like, I'm not answering that. So I blame them. And I still, in a way, blame them for that, for answering these questions. I wouldn't have been up there talking and saying none of this stuff. You wouldn't have got any of it out of me. So me being up there is crazy. Because you wouldn't get anything. And I got probably 100 million confirmed stories that they have never heard. That is factual as hell. But I would never give that to you. Why would I give that to you? I would give it to myself before I would give it to you. Wrong, Mr. Watson. I said I didn't have a problem with Vlad. Did you just hear what I just said, or you didn't hear what I said? I said I didn't have a problem with him. I was not in his way. I defended him in situations where he was attacked because people were saying these questions, and I'm like, well, the questions are bad. I don't like the questions, but I can't omit, like, why the hell are they answering these damn questions? Why are they going up there? That was my whole thing. I'm putting the onus where it's supposed to be. Just like when I started this video. He's a grown man, Boosie. I can't blame this man for this man's decision to go up there and take the money from him. Because he's getting paid. Don't let that be known. See, y'all put all the blame on one person without and try to, don't blame Boosie for nothing. No, can't do that. He's a grown man. So you got to keep it 100. That's what's keeping it 100. You have to put the blame where it's supposed to be. Boosie made a deal with this dude, and you made a deal with the devil. And now this is what happens when you play these games. Like you always say, it ain't gonna happen to me. That's the next guy. And the next thing you know, feds at your door. Have you ever thought about something, Mr. Watson, since you just want to come up with conspiracy theory? Was Kwame right or was he wrong? No, my problem with Vlad became a problem with Vlad when Vlad did something to me. And I went to Vlad personally. And then I DM'd him and he tried to hi-hat me like he was too big to speak. So I got his number and I actually called him. So then he blocked me on social media. He blocked me on everything else. Like, I'm blocking you. I'm like, all right, it's cool. So what you talking about ain't got nothing to do with anything. This dude did some things that led to me going on top of his head. Because I was on vacation. I gave a fair take on what they both said. And he decided to respond like he was a boss. Like, I run things here. So I said, okay. I'm on vacation now. When I get home, it's up. Now, my parents was dealing with COVID at the time. So I'm dealing with them. And I'm like, I don't have enough. I'm too ticked off right now. I was really ticked off then. I'm like, I am too ticked off to deal with you right now at this moment. But when I get back home, and I'm finna cut my trip short, I'm going home. And when I get home, I'm going to know all there is to know about you. Remember when I said that? And as soon as I got home, I learned all I needed to know about him. Oh no, he didn't. Now, I'm glad you remember that, Mr. Slater. Now, Vladimir decides, you know, in this situation, like I said, that's Boosie, but he decided to what? Throw other black platforms under the bus when it was all coming back on him with Boosie. Everybody's like, man, Vlad, you did it to Boosie. But this is why he don't get A-listers. Shirley Jew is bigger than him. See, this is where I tell y'all imagination is. He's popular on the internet. And y'all think that resonates in real life. Nobody deals with DJ Vlad in real life. Period. He's like a hermit. He's like a little hermit crab. You don't see him anywhere, do you? You don't see him at events. You don't see him. No, you don't. He lives like a hermit crab. He's internet famous. Nobody in the industry of any importance deal with him. And this is why he went and hired Shirley Jew. Shirley Jew does interviews. It's the Asian girl that you see. I believe she's Filipino. I don't want to go through her nationality, but she interviews and she has a basically a list of people out in California. Like she's Mariah Carey. She has A-list contacts that will interview with her. And yeah, y'all might say she's not a strong interview. Vlad gave her a platform, like, I'm gonna put you on the platform, because he wanted her interviews on the platform, because he wants those contacts. He want to be able to interview. And then somebody declined to come on his platform, and he chose violence. He chose to be arrogant. He chose to be the same person he is. And hi-hat, and then take it out on Shirley and try to sabotage what she has going on. Right. Exactly. He said, I'm different from who I hang with, though. That's how this works. Well, here's the thing. Have you noticed these type of people are parasites? They survive by surviving on the lifeline of others. Why is Vlad always using black artists, really, hip hop artists, to push his agenda, push his page, to push whatever platform or network he's got going on? That's what he does. He's used Boosie because Boosie was wild and reckless and saying things, and he came with a bag. This is a man who claimed they didn't pay people. Tyree said he offered me $10,000. So if you're gonna go up there, get your money from Vlad. If y'all feel like y'all gotta promote something, y'all got a movie coming out, y'all want to go up there. He once again uses the tactic because Tyree said no. He starts asking anybody that come on his show, they ain't got nothing to do with Tyrese, asking him about Tyrese's court case, and keep bringing it up in other people's interviews. It's a hack job. It's a petty, bitter man who's mad, spoiled child brat who can't get his way. So what he does, he acts out and lashes out. That's what he does. Why don't you give Boosie some money? Why don't you provide him a lawyer? I'm quite sure you know one. Provide a lawyer for Boosie. Why doesn't he have a lawyer? Why he got to sell his cars, sell his personal items for his defense? All the money you made off his back that you still making right now? Did you start a GoFundMe for Boosie? Or are you going to say, oh, that's his business? I just hope Boosie didn't make the mistake of thinking you was his friend. See? See how I come around full circle? This is how it comes around. This is what I mean by full circle come around. Soulja Boy said no. So what'd he do? He go throw up old Teddy Riley interviews. And what Soulja Boy said, you could play all the Teddy Riley videos you want. If you go on Vlad, you going to jail. Didn't he say that clear as day? I remember when he said it. See, Vladimir, how you came up in the game is different. Your channel blew up once you was interviewing Pinky and Sarah J, all the adult film stars that was on Van Nuys, where your facility or studio is. Right on the lot where they make those, on the same street, basically, they make those adult film. That's what made your page blow up. And you got all those views off Pinky and Sarah J. Why don't you hit them off with some bread? That's how you got big. It wasn't hip hop. You used that to blow your platform up to get these other young and hip hop artists or people who was doing all this violence in the street, young black kids who didn't understand what they were doing. They didn't have any media training. They from the street, so they just talking. They just looking at, I'm on Vlad. I'm finna blow up. You getting all these hits on the internet. This is big for me. So what do? It helped create a whole effect, a vortex of other wannabe Vlads. We got DJ Vlad, then we end up with DJ Academics. Somebody who now is under your thumb because he followed your methods. He's out there promoting and making videos about people from my city, talking about the war in Chirac. He know nothing about it. He knows nothing about what's going on out there, what's happening. He's just making egregious videos and then lying about it. Like, oh, I was just giving my journalistic take. No, you weren't. We heard the videos. They were absolutely awful. Talking about 12 and 13-year-old kids, calling them young savages, young goon. And this was a man who, he knew what he was doing. He knew it was reckless. That's why he never showed his face. Nobody knew what DJ Academics looked like. He kept his face off of all of those videos. Nobody knew what he looked like till he got on Everyday Struggle. Wrong. This dude interviewed people from over there. He gave guys nicknames that they wasn't even their names, built them up so they can get murdered. He didn't even know how reckless his videos were. He's causing all his deaths. than when he gets confronted by somebody who's actually from there, who actually knew and saw his video talking about a friend of his that lost his life, that he was at the funeral, and your video is out. You making fun of him. Well, we just lost another savage. Now this guy, is his turn to step up. You know, playing a game when people are losing their lives. This dude is lucky to be breathing right now. And yet, people say he hip hop. They're DJs. What DJ set were they performing at? Where were they playing at? Where were they hooking up the mics and the two turntables at? Who hired them for an event to be the DJ? Huh? A prom? This dude is responsible for at least 5 people in Chicago that's dead, and he never atoned. The videos are still up to this day. He refuses to take them down. So why would I respect academics? Well, you're not supposed to pay for interviews, because if you pay for interviews, you ruin the integrity of the interview. Because now the other person will come back and keep telling the same story over and over again, then it starts changing. And you're like, wait a minute, that kind of messes up what you said the first time. Now the integrity is ruined. But you don't care because you're getting the money. That's all that matters. So they'll tell you anything if you pay them. No. You see, no, they always do this. They always find, we have to learn how to make money off of ourselves. We want to jump on everybody else's platform and do it. You know, you're not going to be able to be your own man, because you're going to know how much they don't have your back when things go wrong. When things go wrong or they're not adding up, you're going to find out how much of they back you don't have. Or when it's time for you to be treated what you think is fair, and they don't think it's fair, but they call the shots. That's when you realize how much power you don't have. Boosie's facing multiple years in jail, like over 10. His bail was denied. And they said, oh, this is based off what he said on Math Hoffa. It's based on a lot of it. He said a lot of things. He said things on Vlad. He said things on this. And I was wondering, why would he even be commenting about somebody else's case? And I was worried about that. Like, man, why are you speaking? You from the streets. Why would you even be doing this on Vlad or anywhere else? You speaking about somebody else's case. That's open. And this was Rollo. I just did this video talking about him and Rollo. And YouTube wanted to mess up with that. And I was saying, like, dog, Rollo looked at you as a friend, like this dude fighting for his life. We just did this video like a week ago. Now he in there. Now he facing a fair case in multiple years. So my thing is this. Make it make sense to me. Because if it ain't a color issue, right? Let's see you, Vlad, get Michael Rappaport. Get one of your buddies. Get Michael Rappaport up here. Ask him about crimes. Ask him about all of these things and see how that goes. Get Michael Rappaport up there and start asking him about crimes, illegal, the first time. Did he ever see a drug deal? Did he ever see a murder? Ask him that. Go do that. Go get Michael Rappaport. Bring him up there. See what happens. See how that goes. I bet you wouldn't do that. I bet you the ramifications will be a lot different. But you could disrespect Dr. Martin Luther King to try to make a joke about Tyree. Who gives you the right? You're not black, and that ain't cool for a black guy to do. Black guy wouldn't even do that. But you're not black. You can never, ever say out your mouth what you just said and think that was okay. To say Dr. Martin Luther King didn't die so that he didn't die on the balcony just so Tyrese could not have to pay child support. Like making a joke about something like that affected black people all around the world. That's crazy. Now, if somebody made a Holocaust joke, let's see how you would feel about that, Vladimir. But you could disrespect Farrakhan. People that I don't care. My whole thing isn't about you apologizing to Farrakhan because he's Farrakhan. You should apologize to Farrakhan because you were wrong. Your information was wrong and inaccurate. And you depicted it on that man. So you should respond. Oh no, guy, we ain't gonna win. Enough ain't enough. No, he's tied to this whether he want to be or not. You see, this is what people don't do. Y'all sit there and let these guys get off. You let him get a pass. Boosie did his part, but so is he. He's partly responsible. He provided the platform for all of this, promoting and spewing all of the street stuff, all of these things to get you indicted. He's partly responsible. You think the feds is only looking at one clip? They got everything he didn't say. My thing for you, Vlad, go get Michael Rappaport, sit Michael Rappaport right there in that chair, and you start asking him the type of things you ask Boosie. Because just like Rappaport, all these dudes, for some reason, they want to be black. They want to cut that thing off right before it hit 10 o'clock at night. They're going to be like, ooh, yeah, turn it off. Yeah, I was black all day today, but yeah, it's getting late. You're not black, bro. No matter what you try to do, no matter how much you try to change your voice and try to, get yourself, you're not black. You'll never face the problems that black people face. Just every day waking up. You never have to face that. You think because you married a black wife, because you keep calling her your black wife, right? And you got twins that make you black. No, you're not black. That's how much you want. You just want control over black so much that you will marry a black woman and have kids with her, Vlad. 2 twins. Mm. So when your guests come on there and they start talking about them, quit telling them that you have a black wife. No one asked you. No one said, hey, Vlad, what color is your wife? And you won't show your wife, would you? Why you don't show your wife then? But you want to tell everybody that come on your show, all the artists and everybody else, yo, I got a black wife. That's supposed to make you, that's your end to get you in. Better yet, since you don't want to show your black wife and your black children, it's your choice, of course. What did your wife do before she married you? What was her occupation? You want to share that, Vladimir? You want to share that with the public? Okay. We're not going to get into the trafficking rumors and nothing like that. We ain't going to do that here. You know, that's on the Patreon, where there's actually footage of you. So that'll go there, right? But tell the public about your wife, right? So I must know somebody that has actually interviewed with you before. I must actually have spoken to somebody, right, that really knows you. I must really actually have done that. A nobody, right? Me, nobody. Just sits on this couch. I must really have talked to somebody that knows you to know that the fact that you don't even have the balls enough to stand in a room with them. That's why I give Adam 22 more respect than I give you. At least he'll sit down in the room with these people. At least he knows how to conduct an interview. You don't. You're so much of a hack, it's ridiculous. But what you would do is bring people in a room with all these cameras and lights and a monitor. And then you will have the chair there and they say, all right, sit there. And then the monitor comes on. They thinking you gonna walk in the room. It's a monitor. And you're at your house or wherever the hell you are, in an office or your home, and you're conducting the interview and you're not even there. They're looking at a screen. You're not even in the room with them. But you're giving the illusion like you're there. You got the money from Rick Ross whooping your ass so that you can pay for all this studio and your cameras and everything else to make it more, advanced. So Rick Ross really helped build your platform. But nobody checks for you, dog. Nobody respects you in the game. You're internet famous only for doing a hack job on promoting low-level, low-tier artists, because no real artist will sit down and ever have a conversation with you anymore. And those who gave you a chance, they won't deal with you anymore. Now, artists whose careers are over and they just want to be in the limelight, they'll come deal with you. If there was a black guy doing what Vlad is doing right now, they wouldn't really be here. Like academics is the suburbanized, stuck in the house, has no connection to black culture whatsoever. He grew up in Jamaica. He don't understand what it was like growing up here in the 60s and 70s. But academics, I know your whole life. Your mama left you behind. You were 10 years old when you came here. She left you and came to America. She took your brother and left your fat ass. She brought you over here when you was 10 years old. She was working at a job where she cleaned white people's houses. She was a maid or housekeeper, doing what she could to save up enough money to try to bring her family together. Because she left your daddy because he was nuts and didn't want nothing to do with y'all. So she left you with an aunt. And she came over to this country. Yeah, he couldn't bring his fat ass over here at 10 years old. He just eating up all the food. They ain't have enough. Plus, it's a weight limit on the plane, so his fat ass had to fly alone. So Vlad, your protege, is an immigrant, ignorant to our culture, ignorant to hip hop, ignorant to anything. Doesn't know it. Don't know black people struggle with racism in this country. Ignorant to it all. His mom's cleaning up houses to white folks. She's old white man. He falls in love with her. Old white man. He wanted, old baby. He wanted some of that brown sugar. And boy, did she give it up. Because he had a whole bunch of money. And what did he do? He went ahead and said, oh, wow, you got another kid over there? Oh, bring his fat ass over here. I'll take care of him like he my own son. So your white stepdaddy flew you on and brought you to America. And here you go with a shirt that couldn't even fit over your stomach. And you up there with a lollipop. America! Yeah. And they took you in the house and you never came out. So you were 20-some years old, living in a basement, drinking 2 liters, laying all over the floor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then white stepdaddy died because he was old. He passed away. So then mama got everything now. In academics, they just kept buying him stuff. He the spoiled little kid, got computers, got new tricycle bikes and everything. Experiences, what, going to Rutgers, getting expelled from school for stealing ramen noodles? How you think he got into Rutgers? I'm just bringing reality back to the table. Exactly, Don Campbell. That's right. He never promotes anything positive about Boosie. What has Boosie done popular? Like he got Gilbert up there. Is he talking about Gil's show? No. Is he talking about anything that's involving Gilbert Arenas? He got Gilbert Arenas up there talking about everything and everybody else's life. I'm like, Gilbert Arenas played in the NBA, and you don't know any basketball, anything to ask him. You're a journalist and you're asking him about did you see the award show this week? What do you think about Taylor Swift? Did you see her dress? Oh well, I thought, you know, you just ask him anything about LeBron or what Kwame said about LeBron. What do you think about what Kwame said about LeBron? It's like Gil should say, well, damn, you should ask Kwame Brown. Why you brought me here to ask me about Kwame Brown? If I'm Gil, I would, well, Gil, he likes popularity. He thinks this helps his show, but it doesn't. He'll get it one day. He's a little behind, but he'll get there eventually. But no, this is what I'm talking about. So how can academics relate to any of this? How could he? He can't relate. He doesn't know Black people's pain. He doesn't know any of this. So for him to go ahead and try to promote somebody like 6ix9ine and all these other syrupy rappers, and he felt like I'm the plug to promote all these guys because he could use clickbait. Never bump head with the guys that know the real you. You don't understand Black people's pain. You don't know about slavery. You don't know about any of these things. You don't come from this. Your family tree goes back to Jamaica. They know nothing about any of this. You ain't got a Big Ma here. Big Ma can't tell you about what's going on and what happened in the 60s and the 30s and the 50s. You ain't got Big Ma here. You don't know what we go through. You don't know what this like. It hit different. So when you come in here and try to portray like you us, you ain't us. Your skin might be our color, but you ain't us. That's right. He don't understand it. Oh yeah, because I've seen Vlad's wife. Vlad don't know that, but I've seen his wife. So that's what I'm saying. He knows where I'm going with this. Vlad knows where it's going. What was her occupation, Vlad? Not the job you gave her. What was her job before you made her your wife? Like we said, Gil has no connection with really anybody here. Why do you think he choose mostly white women? in his mind, his brain is hooked on color. He sees dark-skinned women. You see how he said Lupita was ugly. I was like, what? But look at what he chose for his Beyoncés, as opposed to what everybody else had. Oh yeah, that's happening there now. But they don't understand or relate to what happens here. He don't. Right. Boosie's a grown man. Whatever he's involved in or whatever he did, he gotta atone for that. He whatever he did or didn't do or whatever he fighting, he gonna have to fight it. And I'm just saying, Vlad, where's the support? Get him a lawyer. You should say, I got you a lawyer. You straight, Boosie. For all you've done for me, I'm gonna get you a lawyer. I bet you if Vlad was black, everybody be like, man, Vlad, run that bread, man. Your boy in jail. But you know what everybody gonna do after saying I'm right and Cino, you right, Kwame Brown is right, everybody's been right, Tyrese is right, everybody right about Vlad. You know what everybody gonna do? As soon as Vlad drop another video, they gonna run over there and watch Vlad video. Y'all gonna do it. Y'all gonna do it. Y'all gonna run right over there and watch his video when it drops. Whatever he put out, y'all gonna run over there and watch it. And that's why he does it. Because he knows the machine is going to keep going and people going to say, yeah, y'all right, and run right back over there and support it. And those people are going to keep going over there doing interviews because they need that. It's a vanity. That's what it is. It's that vanity. They need to be on that screen and seeing the numbers go up. And, oh, he's getting a lot of hits and views, so I got to get over there. Vlad knows he's a culture vulture. He knows what built this platform. Like I told you, he knows all of this. But like I said, he wouldn't have Michael Rappaport up there. And he wouldn't be doing that to him. I know the clickbait titles, everything they tell you you're not supposed to do, like we're against clickbaiting. Well, you kind of clickbait it. Boosie right now should not have to be selling his house. He shouldn't have to be selling his cars. He shouldn't have to sell jewelry. He shouldn't have to sell any of that stuff. Right now, he's selling cars. Who knows what else he's selling? And why should he have to do that? Yeah, because don't nobody want to go on there no more. Nobody wants to deal with Vlad, but it's what they want to do. Because we don't, that's the next thing. We don't promote ourselves. We are afraid to bet on self. Well, it's not really envy and jealousy. It's because we've been programmed in everyday life. People don't really understand how the brain works. You think you learn what you tell your brain to learn. That's the main that's the main false narrative about the brain that people like us don't recognize. We think we tell our brain what to learn and what not to learn. That's how crazy we are. And some of us don't realize our brain is like a human computer, that a more advanced computer than they've ever been able to understand. Your brain hears a song or hears something in a commercial, what they call jingles, and you'll be walking around all day and your brain will be playing it in your head. You didn't tell your brain to record that song in your head, but it'll be playing in your head, won't it? You be hearing it, "Da, da, 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 da," and you be like, man, I've been hearing this commercial all day. No, you only saw it about once or twice, but the song is in your head, so you think you've heard it all the time. That's why they do these tests. Why you think those soldiers in the military are so like, yeah, sure, sir? What do you think training is for? They're not trained to just hold a gun and move. You have to mentally train them. They have to break you and turn you into their weapon. So when they say, we need you to burn down Sector G, there's women and children in there, sir. Did I ask you that, sir? Private. No, you didn't, sir. Do your job. Okay. They have to mentally be programmed to not even think personally, but to follow orders. Why do you think they pay billions of dollars for these experiments? You have been programmed to dislike yourself. You have been programmed to dislike what you look like. They keep talking about Jim Crow. Everything about you that's been promoted, you've always been taught you've only good for two things: your athletic ability and your sexuality. We're entertainers in sexuality. We're not ever promoted in business or having the ability to be smart. Even though all these military strategies, all these ideas that are going around that people are making $1 billion off of come from us. Yes, and thanks for the super chat, Jermaine. Thanks for everybody who hit up my Cash App too. I appreciate that. That's love. It's pinned at the top. I ain't know if most of y'all even saw it. Oh yeah, people steal it from you. They'll steal your ideas. But you have to understand, you have been taught to hate yourself. You see, dark-skinned blacks were targeted and promoted their whole life. You see them in movies, you see them on television, they were always the crook, the no-good villain, and the light-skinned black was acceptable. So it made the light-skinned blacks feel special. Then it made the women start looking at them as the pretty guys, and they were the guys to look at. And the dark-skinned blacks was kicked to the side. So it gave them a low self-esteem that if they were dark-skinned, they were considered to be ugly. So they grew up with less self-esteem. So they felt like don't nobody love them anyway, and they felt ugly. So the only way to be pretty was only to white girls. White girls think, hey, we sexy. They want us. So they appeal more to the white girls. White girls think they sexy because they only look at them as an object, the majority of them. They looked at them as something that they could possess. It was forbidden fruit. They want to be dangerous. Then when they get older, then they've had their fun when they were young. Now they're older and they go conform to whatever the consensus is in the environment that they are. Yeah, I've seen it. You have to make sure these women love you for you. And you can always tell if they just there for sex or they there for you. Go look at the pay structure in the United States of America. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to do it for you. I'm going to have you do it. Same job, same county, same state, same everything. Only difference is the color. What blacks are paid and what whites are paid for the same occupation. And you can say, well, they're in this state. No, same state, same county, same everything, same job title. See what the blacks are getting paid and see what the whites are getting paid. And look at the pay differentials. And you tell me the difference. So being black and broke and white and broke is two different things. Being white and broke is like always having $5 in your pocket. They've always pit light-skinned blacks against dark-skinned blacks because it's always been that way. In the Bible, going all the way back to Egypt, there were no light-skinned blacks in Egypt. They let the light-skinned blacks into Egypt. And once that happened, all kind of problems broke out. Dark-skinned blacks started looking at these light-skinned girls with long hair. And you know how that did. It created jealousy with the other dark-skinned girls. And they didn't have hair like that. And then they started attacking them at night. Guys were sleeping in their quarters, sneaking in there. It was wow. Egypt went crazy. Tore itself up from within. Based on color. Ask anybody that's dark skinned and tell you, did they feel that because their skin was darker, they had it harder? I bet you they tell you that. Oh, I was blessed with knowledge. I was blessed with people that put me into the right frame of mind to learn everything that was going on around me. Once they see that the brainwash couldn't work on me. See, Hollywood make movies based on these things that they actually know is real. You ever see the movie Divergent? You're like, what in the world is a divergent? I never, somebody died a virgin? I don't know what the hell is divergent. See, Divergent was everybody was separated by the factions they were in. Everybody was separated by factions. So they all run these tests to see which faction you belong in, just like society. They figure out which group you're going to be in, right? Then there's one person or a couple of people, and that don't you can't really place them because none of the illusions that they have around you actually work. It's like you can see through the you see like all the brainwash tactics and everything. You see it as for what it is, and it don't work on you. Those people are called they label divergence, and they draw out attention from those people who try to get people to conform to these groups, and they come out and destroy those people because those people will convince others that they're being brainwashed and controlled, and they'll wake up masses. Those people they want to stomp those people out to keep people under control. Mm-hmm. Because it's an agenda based. Do you realize that the president of the United States of America does not make a decision that controls the fate of this world or this country? They don't. There's a whole group of people in a room that makes these decisions. The president's job, do you think one man saying something is going to change things? Over 100 years ago, they came up with the philosophy we needed a president, one person in charge to be the face because people are more calm. If you tell them there's a round table of people making a decision, then they don't know who. Well, who? We need somebody. They need one person to come out and make a statement so that they can keep everybody else in line. That's how it works. People are more calm when they see one person. If they see a group come out, then it's chaos. They don't know who to listen to. A lot of people want to be guided. They want someone else to make the decisions. What did 9/11 teach you? Is that we will believe anything. If they say it on TV. The Trilateral Commission, yes, you're right. They're a part of it. With all of the things that happened during 9/11, we all know, with all the evidence that's been presented, we all know that everything they've told us has been 100% inaccurate. That's being promoted as the truth was 100% inaccurate. So if it's 100% inaccurate, then what is the truth? The truth is more scarier than you ever want to ever want to investigate. Because then it opens Pandora's box and say, wait a minute. Well, what about what happened then? Because if this is the truth, then what happens here? What happens there? What happens there? No war that has ever took place started the way they said it. Spanish American War did not start the way they said it, with the explosion of a cruise ship. People were blamed that had nothing to do with it. But this is what they have to do to get what they really want. Well, that's what happens in today's society. We make up the reality how we want to. We see it the way we want to see it. And that's it. Now, for instance, this is a cool shout out to on my Flash spoiler review on my Screen Fiend channel. If you haven't subscribed to Screen Fiend, please do. Yeah, that bucket actually lights up. That popcorn bucket lights up like the Flash suit. I actually did a TikTok of me being the Flash, like what was it? When was 2020? So 3 years ago. Doing all the Flash stunts. I was locked in the house for the pandemic. So that's what we were doing with our time. I mean, Osama bin Laden, right? Remember they made the We Gotten bin Laden and all this? They finally ended that thing with Obama. Why did they do that? Why did they end it then? There was a raid and we finally got him. There was no body. There was nothing. And they said it was him. It was a standoff. No. The man had died years ago. No one had seen him or heard from him. We were keeping the legend alive because to have him die off from an illness, oh, that's just not good press. We have to go get him. You know. But like I said, the truth is never as appealing as reality. Right. Like, remember Ishmael Bishop, a name you never heard before in your life. Ishmael Bishop is the one that warned the British that the warned the Americans that the British were coming. And they all, but Paul Revere is the one that gets the credit, right? Ishmael Bishop rode miles and miles and miles telling people, the British is coming, the British is coming, the British is coming. Paul Revere just went from one place to another place and said, the British is coming, the British is coming. And they gave the whole credit to Paul Revere. Paul Revere sounds a lot better than Ishmael Bishop, right? What's wrong with Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith, and Shannon Sharp? Well, these people please explain. Well, with Charles Barkley is somebody who forgot he's black. He's been around white folks so long, he forgot he was black. He stopped being a guy that was from where he's from. He forgot he's from Alabama. No, but see, he's one of those you see, here's the thing. Charles Barkley is one of those blacks that they blame other blacks for everything to justify their beliefs. Like, he'll point out everything bad black folks do. That's the reason. That why I date white women, because see, black women, they don't want to be doing. They all lazy, blaming the government on everything. So that's why I got a white wife. See, you don't have to tear down somebody else because of your decisions. If you want to go hang out with white people, marry white women, and live in white areas and take white point of views, then you just do that. You ain't got to tear other black folks down as your reason, because you did it for your own selfishness, but you ain't man enough to say that's what you wanted to do with your life. So you have to make a false reason as to why you did it. Shannon Sharp has always been a lack of mother and father. Have you ever hear Shannon Sharp talk about his mother and his father? Ever? It's Granny and Pappy. My grandmama used to say, oh, my daddy used to say. He never say my mama or my daddy. Never. So when you hear that, you hear the absence of that, where he's taught to mind. He grew up in Savannah, Georgia. He's born in Chicago, but he grew up out there with his grandma raising him, and everybody around there, his aunties. And Shannon was a good old boy, lived on a farm. But he seemed to be ashamed of it now that he's successful. He don't want to mention that he grew up on the farm to everybody no more. Before, it was his badge of honor. That's what gave him his strength. Man, Skip, I grew up on the farm. Yeah. Boy, I had to get out there, and I had to go out there and we had to get a whole big pail. And we had to go out there and get them berries, Skip. Yeah, boy, it be hot. Boy, your fingers be all numb and all that stuff. Boy, I was out there getting it. Boy, Pappy be on you. So he grew up on a farm. Now that he got Boo Thing with him, you would never know it because he tried to act as if somebody just made it up. Oh, now I don't know what they talking about with that. So he was taught to mind. He slept in his grandmama bed till he was 14, 15 years old when his brother moved out and left the house. That's when he got his brother room. Other than that, he had to sleep in the bed with Granny. They had a hole in the roof, and the rain come in, and they got it going in the bucket. That's what he come from. So he worked to never want to get to that point ever again in life. Now that he got to that point, now it's all about this extravagance, and he tried to act as if that life, that was a whole nother him. That don't exist no more. But he tried to tell other black folks how they should behave. Gotta follow the white folk. That's what we gotta do. Gotta follow white folk. White. No. We gotta behave. We gotta dress up. We gotta sit proper. We gotta obey white. We gotta obey white folk. How dare Kyrie speak out against that white man? You see, it's always going back to teaching you how to behave. You can't be you. There's no such things as youth exuberance for blacks. Oh, well, he's just young doing stupid stuff. He's just coming of age. Nope, that's not for blacks. That's for everybody else. They make movies and about white kid coming of age, skateboarding, being destructive, tearing up property. He's just coming of age. Brother be facing 3 to 10 at 16. Coming of age, menace to society. I guess that's all black folks coming of age. Like when we 5 for Christmas. Oh, what did I get? Oh, a 22. Thanks, Dad. Don't shoot me with that. Hey, I'm gonna shoot back. Oh, he got me. So that's supposed to be our coming of age, so. Yeah, exactly. Stephen A. Smith, same way. Came up hard, and he realized he was being a man. Then they clipped him, and he was like, "Oh, I can't get clipped again, so I'm gonna toe the line and do whatever Massa say." And now he's the junkyard dog doing what Shannon Sharp doing. Anybody black do anything that's against the grain or speak their own mind. Huh, you getting paid all this money. How How dare you go out there and act like that? And they're paying you that kind of money. You a damn fool. Huh. Look at Paul Pierce he's basically talking about prostitution. On the man's show, you about to mess up his platform. That doesn't make any sense. Look at him calling up women, drinking a margarita, smoking a stogie. They do the same thing. All three men have the same quality in common. Right. People that go on that platform end up dead and in jail, and people still go up there for a few thousands of dollars. But he will own that content forever and will put it up anytime you get pulled over for a traffic ticket. He gonna go dig up your old videos. You absolutely correct. I know Stephen A. Smith is Stephen from Django. He said once he kissed that goat on his knees, I knew he was finished. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'm gonna get out of here. Go watch that Flash preview, that spoiler review. If you already seen it, we got the regular movie review on Screen Thing, but definitely check that out because I definitely showed my display, and they showed the clips of my IG video when I was actually the Flash. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. But I'm gonna get out of here. Shouts out to Kwame Brown Bust Life again because Kwame exposed him even better than what I did. I mean, when he said that to Vlad, like I'm better than you. That was the most golden statement I have. I said, wow, that's how it's done. I'm better than you. That was just incredible. Better than you, bud.
Regardless of numbers on YouTube, regardless of all that, we talk about life. And in life, see, I know I'm better than you, lad. Regardless of numbers on YouTube, regardless of all that, we talk about life. And in life, where I was placed and what I was faced with in the homeless shelter and the circumstances that I was faced with, I don't think you could persevere without using another person. See, it was my talent, lad. How good you think it was or not? Mount Rushmore's or bust or not, see, Black, it's my talent, right? I never had to go interview somebody else and then wait till they die and then run their interview. I never had to do that for you, Black. Black, I'm out here with battle scars and shit that I did with my life. What did you do besides get your ass whooped by Rick Ross?
Hey, I'm telling you, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. And I've been live for an hour and 35 minutes. I can't beat that. In 1 minute, it took him less than 1 minute. That's already done. Yeah, this is the flash bucket, man. And this the way it feels, this is real material. I'm like, oh, this is real. These are you ain't gonna find these 2 million, places else. It's lights up. Like the flash suit. You can turn it off, turn it back on. Bam. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace.